Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Apocalypse Movies. I am Jacob Bartley, and this is my review for Happy Death Day, the horror film that was just released by Blumhouse this past weekend. And I'm here to talk about it. This will be a minor spoilers review. I won't get too into depth, but I will be mentioning plot points and stuff in the film that are relevant to the outcome of what happened in the movie. So you have been warned. It's in the title. This is a spoilers review for Happy Death Day. So let's jump right into it. So first of all, going into this movie, I don't think that there's a lot of good horror movies coming out lately. So you had that going for it to where, like, okay, low budget horror film, even though Blumhouse, who produced this movie, Jason Blum, has been killing it. So I was kind of mixed. I was like, okay, we've had a lot of bad horror movies, and I just recently watched Friend Request. So I'm like, okay, it can either go the Friend Request route or it can go, the good Blumhouse movie route. So I was thinking, oh man, Blumhouse, they've been doing some good things lately. So I had a feeling that this movie could be good. And honestly, I really think it's pretty good. It's a good movie. It's not great, but it's done pretty well, and I had a feeling it was going to be, and I didn't know the Rotten Tomatoes score. I didn't listen to any reviews before I saw the film, and I just had a feeling it was going to be good, and it ended up being pretty good. I like the premise. We've seen this premise done, the Groundhog Day thing, plenty of times. We've seen it spoofed before, but I don't recall the last time it's been done in a horror movie. So I liked that premise. And obviously the little baby face looks pretty scary. So, horror movies are fun to go out like on a date night or with some friends to go watch because they're good event films to go see. So I took a friend to go watch this, and we had a great time. And I do think it's very enjoyable. The thing that makes this movie work so well is the lead actress. I don't have her name off the top of my head, but she does a phenomenal job in this movie. She is amazing, honestly. I was really caught off guard because normally you don't have the best performers in these type of horror films, and she was fantastic. There was comedic moments where she was great. There was very dramatic moments where she was great. So as a performer, with the performance that we got from the main actress, that was phenomenal, honestly. I look forward to seeing her in things in the future because she was amazing, like really, really good, and elevated the movie, honestly. Like I said, the concept was done really well. It was, even though it had some cliche horror elements, it was very unique and fresh in the way it handled its premise and the way it handled the horror elements. And honestly, this movie is going to keep you guessing. Obviously, you've seen in the trailers, somebody's trying to kill her, and while she's trying to figure it out, you're trying to figure it out as an audience member. So I was really intrigued. I honestly didn't know who was trying to kill her the whole time, and that was really cool. And when we found out, I was like, oh, how did I not see that coming? But we'll talk about that in a second. As far as the negative, I did have some negatives. Obviously, this movie, I would say it's pretty good. Like it's right on the borderline of being good. So obviously there's some problems with it. One of the main problems was, so this character, her name's Tree, she's supposed to be like she's an asshole, she's mean to everybody, she treats everybody like shit, and they just hammer you over the head with that. And I'm like, okay, movie formula, she's a douchebag, and then she's gonna learn from her mistakes, and she's gonna correct them, and that's exactly what happens. But it's like, there has to be some redeeming qualities about a person in order for you to even start to like forgive them in a way for their actions. And the way they set this character up, like literally the first half of the movie, she's a straight up douche to everybody, and every action she does is mean, and she's just rude, and I'm like, okay, I get what they're going for. Bad person who's going to learn a lesson and become a better person by the end of the film, but she was just all bad, like all mean, and I'm like, there's no redeeming qualities about her until she makes the switch from learning her lesson. So that was one of my big negatives for me. Another big negative for me, and I have moments or actions in a movie by a character that can ruin a movie for me. And this didn't ruin the movie for me, but it set me it set me down like a rabbit hole of thoughts to where like, why did the director or the writer choose to do this? Like, it doesn't even make sense. It's so stupid and lazy. So she gets killed a couple times and comes back to life, or relives the day again, right? And there's this guy that she wakes up in his dorm room. You've seen him in the trailer. So the first time she explains it to him, what's going on, he just believes her right away. And I'm like, no, I know this movie isn't set in reality, but that would never happen. He would be freaking out, and he just says, okay, well, if it is true, then blah, 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 blah. He doesn't question her. He just like believes her right away. And I'm like, man, that was one of those moments or points in a movie that really just bothered me a lot and really made the movie worse for me. Just by one little scene, it made the movie worse for me. But like I said, this movie worked, and for the most part there's kind of a twist, I guess, and now we're here to talk spoilers, so let's get into it. So, and this will tie into one more negative I have going towards the end of the film. So she figures out that she has to find out who's killing her, right? In order for her to stop her reliving the days over and over again. And there's this killer who's on the loose. You see him on the news earlier in the film. You got to keep your eye out and watch for this stuff. So there's this killer who's on the loose, and like he has no connection to her at all, other than he's a serial killer who's been murdering young women that kind of look like her, young white women that are around her age. And other than that, he has no connection to her at all. And the whole time the movie is trying to have you, or is making you assume that the reason she's being killed is because somebody who's connected to her, right? Or somebody who has a reason to kill her. So then they set this up to where it's very random, and you're like, whoa, like, why does this guy want to kill her? That's weird. That's a left turn. So you know there's something up. And then you find out there's more to it. And this is where the movie got really good to me. You find out that her roommate was the one killing her the whole time. And the way it's all set up is to where, like, the roommate set up the guy to take the fall for killing her because it was a perfect setup for her, because this guy happened to be in their town at the same time. So it worked out that way. And I was like, oh, I like that. I mean, it wasn't the biggest, greatest reveal or twist I've ever seen, but it was really clever, and I did not see it coming. So that was really cool, actually. But also, and this brings me to my last big negative. So the movie is about reliving the same day over and over again, the Groundhog Day theme, right? But this movie doesn't set up any like mythology or anything to why that's happening. Like, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but don't other movies that have similar elements, like Edge of Tomorrow, right? I believe there's a plot point in there that explains why he's dying and reliving those days over again. You have no idea why this is happening. Other than that part, it's all like in a realistic setting. So just magic happens to exist within this realm or whatever world they live in. So I would have liked some more explanations on that. But other than that, I thought Happy Death Day was pretty good. I really liked it, and I enjoyed it. It was original and unique, honestly. And it's not one of the best movies of the year, but it's not near one of the worst. It's like right in the middle, but I just didn't expect it to be good, and I ended up liking it. So I'm going to give Happy Death Day, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It ended up earning that score for me. Well, thank you all for watching for this review. I am Jacob Bartley for Apocalypse Movies. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like all things film. Hit us up on iTunes. You can find us on there as well. Thank you all for watching again. Until next time, take care.